Marcus Aurelius may have been a powerful emperor, but he was far from perfect. Like all of us, he faced struggles and drifted from the person he knew he could be. In one passage from Meditations*, he reflects on his shortcomings, even calling himself a beast or monkey. Yet, he offers hope. He reminds himself that with a week of renewed effort, reconnecting to his beliefs and philosophy, he could return to his higher self. This speaks to a common feeling at the end of the year: fatigue, complacency, drifting from who we want to be. But the good news is, it's never too late to come back, to rediscover wisdom, virtue, and potential. These qualities haven't gone anywhere, they just need to be rekindled. Marcus often reminded himself to be his own savior, urging us not to wait for someone else to fix our issues or lead us on the path to greatness. And what better time to take charge than a new year? Seneca would begin each year with a symbolic cleanse. He would plunge into the icy cold Tiber River to reset. As January begins, this is a fitting reminder to start fresh. To help in this renewal, at Daily Stoic, we kick off the year with a series of Stoic-inspired challenges called New Year, New You, which aims to guide you toward becoming the best version of yourself. One of the core tenets of Stoic philosophy is treating the body rigorously. Though philosophy may seem distant from physical activity, the Stoics were actively engaged in pushing their physical limits. They were not just thinkers, but warriors, athletes, and toughened individuals. They understood the connection between a strong mind and a strong body. Socrates was a soldier celebrated for his resilience in harsh conditions. Marcus Aurelius was both a warrior and a hunter, while other Stoics like Epictetus lifted weights and Seneca subjected himself to the brutal cold of the river to harden his mind and body. The Stoics didn't pursue physical endurance for vanity or status. As Seneca said, we train the body to ensure that it obeys the mind. Physical challenges were not just about building muscle. They were a metaphor for mental strength and discipline. Pushing physical boundaries helps to grow mental resilience and toughness. By accomplishing something tough, we prove to ourselves that we are capable of even more. So, as you reflect on your resolutions, think about choosing something that pushes your boundaries. A resolution that reinforces your commitment to yourself, showing that you keep promises, confront challenges, and don't give in to the voices that tell you to quit. A physical practice isn't just about achieving results. It's about realizing your potential and proving, day by day, that you can do hard things. This morning, after dropping off my child, I swam in the cold Barton Springs. It was tough. I could have quit early, but I kept going, and that moment reminded me, just like Stoic practices, that you're capable of far more than you believe. I push myself beyond what I think I can do, challenging myself physically even when I don't feel like it. And the great thing about this is that I carry that energy back into the rest of my day, applying it to every other challenge that comes my way. When you commit to a physical practice like this, you're not just strengthening your body, you're also developing your mental resilience. You build your capacity to face difficulties and endure discomfort. In the end, you're creating a more well-rounded and robust version of yourself. You also need to accept that asking for help is okay. Whenever I speak with military groups, I remind them of a favorite quote from Marcus Aurelius in Meditations*. A soldier in battle might find himself wounded, needing a comrade to pull him up, and Marcus simply shrugs and says, "So what?" He's saying that seeking help is nothing to be ashamed of. It's just a natural part of life, just as going to therapy, seeking advice, or asking for support from others should be. When our friends come to us for help, we often feel honored and ready to assist them. So why is it hard to ask for help when we need it ourselves? The truth is, people want to help us, and we should allow them the opportunity to do so. In a book I love called The Boy, the Fox, the Horse, and the Mole there's a powerful quote. Asking for help isn't giving up, it's refusing to give up. Life isn't going to always go smoothly. We're going to face challenges and have questions, but asking for help is how we keep moving forward. If you're committed to becoming a better version of yourself this year, don't try to go it alone. Find someone who's been down the road before, who can guide you, and join in the shared mission of personal growth. If reading more is a part of your resolution, then keep in mind what Epictetus said. It's not about the volume of books you read, but what you are reading. He cautioned against simply filling your mind with useless information, stating that what's more important is the focus and quality of what you engage with. Seneca echoed this sentiment, warning that many people's intellectual pursuits get lost in the noise of trivial knowledge. Instead of diving into endless books just to increase numbers, consider what you are really getting out of it. Ask yourself, what kind of books will actually improve you? What will challenge your thinking and help you grow? It's better to reread important books that have value than to add another title to your reading list simply to impress others with how much you consume. Instead of trying to rack up numbers on Goodreads, focus on making your reading matter. Use this energy to direct your attention intentionally to literature that will truly help you evolve. For 2025, think about how many books you'll quit if they don't live up to their promise. Be discerning in your reading choices this year, and by doing so, you'll start to see improvement. Your approach to learning should be more than just about volume. It should be about quality, focus, and intent. And that's when real progress will come. When you want to adjust the temperature for sleep, whether making it warmer or cooler, all it takes is a tap on the side of the mattress. I absolutely love this feature. It's hard for me to sleep as well without it, and I often worry about adjusting to time differences when I travel. However, I know I'll sleep soundly with my 8 Sleep mattress. If you're looking to take your sleep and recovery to the next level, a crucial part of your practice, just as important as pushing yourself physically, consider checking out the 8 Sleep Pod 4 Ultra. It's made a real difference in my quality of sleep and overall rest. To get $600 off, head over to 8sleep.com/dailystoic and use the code DAILYSTOIC before the offer expires. Trust me, your body will thank you, and I'm about to take advantage of this myself. Off to sleep now. I'm going to share a habit that will be a game changer for you in the new year. A simple yet powerful habit that solves problems in relationships, work, health, and more. Go for a walk. We should all make it a point to wander outdoors. Seneca recommended outdoor walks to refresh the mind and nourish it with fresh air and deep breaths. The Buddha also advocated for walking meditation, where movement is the meditation itself. It could be through a beautiful forest, along the beach, or even a walk through a busy parking lot. The key is movement. I'm not claiming that walking will solve every problem, but very few problems in life aren't improved by taking a walk. Soren Kierkegaard wrote in a letter to his depressed sister-in-law that walking was his remedy for illness and anxiety. He said, "I walk myself into a state of well-being, and that no thought was so burdensome that it couldn't be walked away from." There were entire schools of philosophy that centered around walking. Teachers would take their students for walks and discuss life's big questions. The Stoics embraced movement, knowing how essential it was to get out, stay active, and let the mind rest and refresh. So, make it a foundational habit this year. Take walks. It's simple, but it will make you better. This year, one skill to focus on cultivating is the ability to concentrate. In today's world, the ability to focus is becoming rarer, but it's more valuable than ever. Marcus Aurelius himself struggled with distractions despite his position in the busy Roman Empire, but he stressed the importance of focusing on one task at a time and giving it your full attention. As he said, you need to concentrate like a Roman on what's right in front of you, with precision and seriousness. In a time filled with distractions, the ability to do deep work, fully engaging with the task at hand, is vital. Seneca was an expert at concentration. Despite all the noise around him, the chaos of Rome, and his own struggles, he would practice focusing his mind so that no external noise could disturb his peace. He taught himself how to shut out distractions, using techniques like meditation and journaling to control his thoughts and train his ability to focus. The aim is to reach a state where nothing, be it praise or criticism, disrupts your peace, or pulls your attention away from the task at hand. We might never reach this ideal completely, but this ability to concentrate is a habit worth developing. One of Seneca's famous lines is, "Show me a man who isn't a slave," reminding us that we can become slaves to many things, whether it's money, status, or even addiction. Stoicism teaches us to free ourselves from these dependencies. If you can't resist the urge to check your phone or compulsively respond to every email, that is a form of slavery. Whatever you are addicted to, the coffee, the social media scroll, the constant emails, that thing holds power over you. The real challenge is breaking free from these habits that diminish your freedom. By freeing yourself from these addictions, you take back control of your life. And remember, perfection is the enemy of progress. In 1931, choreographer Martha Graham faced a crippling fear of failure while working on a dance series. Despite months of hard work, she felt she couldn't finish, convinced that the performance wouldn't meet her high standards. She thought her entire year's efforts were a waste. But her dancers and friends saw value in her work, even though she couldn't see it herself. This is a trap many talented people fall into. They stop before they finish, paralyzed by their own impossibly high standards. Perfectionism can prevent us from creating or completing anything, which is ultimately what keeps us from achieving our potential. Instead of striving for perfection, focus on what is good enough and move forward. Perfectionism, while often seen as a virtue, can also be a terrible vice. It prevents us from enjoying our work, making it impossible to ship something or move on to the next project because we're constantly held back by the idea that it's not good enough. There's always something more we could do, something we could improve, which makes perfectionism a form of paralysis. Churchill famously said that perfectionism could be better spelled as paralysis. It's a form of resistance, a deep commitment to doing the work, but a fear, almost an aversion, to finishing it. Perfectionism isn't humility or obsession. It's not a positive trait. It's narcissistic, insane, and self-absorbed. Instead of being a means of growth, it traps us. The key virtue we need to cultivate this year is the discipline to finish, to ship, to progress without obsessing over perfection. The Stoics teach us not to abandon a pursuit simply because we can't perfect it. Instead, we should aim to improve little by little each day. In fact, perfectionism is often a form of cowardice. It keeps us from doing the hardest part, finishing. We hide behind ideals and fear, thinking we can never reach the ultimate goal, when the reality is that trying to be better every day, even if the work isn't flawless, is what will lead us forward. Stoicism is about striving to do our best and learning from each step. It's about avoiding the temptation of perfectionism by understanding that failure or imperfection is part of growth. This year, instead of trying to be perfect, focus on making progress. Embrace doing your best in the moment, accepting imperfection, and having the courage to put your work out there and keep moving forward. For 2025, why not pick a word to live by? A word to aim for, a guiding principle that aligns your actions for the year ahead. Seneca wisely noted that without knowing our destination, no wind is favorable. This year, you can make this Stoic practice your own. Just like how yoga practitioners set an intention or meditators use a mantra to center themselves, you can choose a word to focus on that will shape your decisions and actions. Examples could be patience, if you need to slow down, or steadfastness if you need strength. Perhaps courage, kindness, or resilience are words that speak to you. The right word will act as your compass when life gets busy or chaotic. Words like discipline might help you focus on building better habits, or generosity could be the key to deepening your connections. In past years, my words have been less systems and stillness to focus on reducing commitments, staying organized, and creating balance in my life. Choosing a word to live by allows you to focus your energy and clarity. For me in 2025, I haven't fully decided yet, but I'll share it soon. What's important is not just picking a nice word, but finding something meaningful, a concept, principle or idea that can guide your year, your thoughts, and your behaviors. Keep it in front of you. Put it on your wall, as your phone's wallpaper, or in a journal. Let it be a touchstone, a constant reminder of where you're headed. Next, stop procrastinating. We often tell ourselves we'll start later, when things calm down, when the conditions are just right. But why wait? Epictetus famously asked, "How much longer are you going to wait to demand the best of yourself?" Procrastination is a habit that Stoics like Seneca warn us against. It's a way of constantly preparing, but never doing. If you want to see progress and good results in the future, it begins with the action you take now. Avoid pushing things off. Make today the day you start making deposits toward your future. No more excuses. We often look back with regret, realizing that the best time to start was long ago, but the second best time is now. Remember what Seneca said, "The one thing all fools have in common is they are always getting ready to start." Don't wait until tomorrow. Do it now. Stop putting things off, get moving, and make the most of today. Procrastination only delays progress. To cultivate the foundational habits of the year, just begin today. You will be surprised at the positive effects of just taking that first step.